being selfish does not mean you're going to be an asshole to everybody else.
No,
and you're going to cut people off. No, you're going to be selfish in the way that you are going to be selfless at the same time.
When you read the definition, it sounds very negative. You have lack of consideration for others. You're only doing it for your own. Yeah. But when you are at a max level of that, then what? You just give it away for free. Well, that's the best part.
That's the thing. You cannot fill from an empty cup, right? When you're in an airplane and you're about to go down, you put your oxygen mask on first because you cannot help anybody if you cannot breathe.
Right.
And that's the metaphor for it is like we're out here trying to help and fix, and fix is a big part, right? We're trying to fix things and we can't even breathe. What up, everybody? Welcome to the show. We're the Talk On Podcast. Baby, we are live, and we got a great show for you. Coming straight for you. I hope you guys are ready.
We're just nowhere today because that's the safest bet.
Oh, my God. I've drank too much coffee, I guess. Welcome to the show, guys. We got a great show for you guys. But before we continue, I want to remind you guys, if you guys are on here, you're watching this, and you love us, and you want to see us do a naked, hot, cold.
Whoa. If you want to see us do a cold bath, still wearing articles of clothing because this is not an OnlyFans yet.
But we can switch right.
We're not struggling that bad yet.
No, okay, guys, we will be doing a cold bath. Mm-hmm. What do you call? Is that what you call it? I guess
cold plunge, cold bath.
We'll do the cold plunge right here,
cold water,
right here. Mm-hmm. The whole entire 30 minutes of this show, we're going to be in the ice water.
Yep. I'll check with the doctor on that one, but
I'm going to be like, Jess, it was cold. But it's cold in there.
She's like, that was 5 days ago.
Anyway, guys, please subscribe to the channel. You're not going to want to miss that. I am going to be wearing a Speedo. Yes. No, I was kidding. I'm kidding.
I'm still wearing shorts.
Chris is going to be wearing a Speedo, and he's not even going to be in the ice bath.
That's the best part. Yes, I love it.
He's like, I got one on right now. We will
show you that it is possible that we don't just talk about random stuff to talk about random stuff. If you embrace your struggles, demons, and you find a new way to think about life, then life can get better for you.
Yeah, and we have talked. I myself have got tricked and coerced into doing the ice cold bath showers every morning, and I did do it for 30 days, and I'm
still doing it,
and he's still doing it because he's a psycho. No, because there's so many things that it does good for you, man, and you can't understand it until you do it. And I have not yet ever did like the plunge. I don't think I've ever done the plunge. I may have fell in the river one time during winter.
It is rather invigorating. The showers are rather difficult, so I will.
They are.
I will, because you're not submersed in it. It's constantly hitting different places, so that's why I like it the most. So you can't get used to it.
Yeah,
it's constantly changing. So I'll soak my head, and then I'll pull back, and it'll hit the rest of me, and I'm like, ooh, and then it jolts me, and it makes me feel awake and alive, and I just know, and that too, and I just know, I know I'm doing something that I don't want to do, especially at 5 o'clock in the morning when it's blizzard outside, right? We have a heater in our house, but still, it's cold, and it's cold, and you can see the cold, and then you go jump in more cold, and you're like, what the heck am I doing?
Well, all you want to do is crawl back in bed with Jenny.
Right.
That's it.
But psychologically, when you start your day chasing down things that you struggle with and beating them from the jump, and then as soon as I've done that, I meditate and I say, this is going to be a good day. And then there are days when I'm on my way to work and some idiot cuts me off and all these things seem to be going wrong, and when most people would then go, well, that day sucks, I'm over it, and then I'm like, nope, just a few more challenges. I'm not quite done yet. Touche. Let's keep going.
And I think it's important to understand that everything that you want is just on the other side of the things you don't want to do.
And as soon as you can reframe them into embracing the things and turning them into what you do want to do, that's when life changes.
And that's where you're at.
That's where I live at now.
Yeah.
I embrace challenges on a regular basis. And don't get me wrong, sometimes they kick me hard and I'm like, oh, what am I doing?
Yeah,
maybe I should rethink this for a minute, but then I know that's my unconscious getting in the way and trying to creep back up and saying, this is where we used to live, and it was really easy, dude, just negative and horrible and all this crap. But what I want to talk about today, and you
want to talk about today?
For me lately, because I have been very, 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 very vocal about the fact that I am the most selfish person that I know.
Yeah.
And so many people push back and give me this weird look, and then I break down the explanation of it, and you can just see something in their face kind of shift. Like,
I'm gonna say something.
Kind of
real
makes
quick.
sense.
I'm gonna say something before you say that. Like, you may be selfish, but you're also selfless at the same time.
That's the point.
Yes.
I am selfish to the point that selfless is the byproduct.
Gotcha.
If I don't keep myself full 100% of the time by taking care of me first at all cost at all times,
You can't pour from an empty pitcher, my friend.
then there's nothing left to give.
Right.
And if you want my help, you don't want 60% of me.
Right.
Because that other 40% is going to resent the crap out of you. I guarantee it. I'm going to be keeping score. I'm going to be irritated. You're not going to actually get all my help. So what's the point of asking for help? And then I'm now scorekeeping and wondering when I can get something back because now you took something from me when I wasn't quite full.
Yeah.
When my cup overfloweth, right? Mm-hmm. When it is just pouring out of me, the byproduct is that everybody around me wins all the time. And I'm explaining that to people and they're like, oh, but you look at the definition. I'm like, I know the definition. I do not consider any of you until I am okay.
Yeah.
Because I can't.
Well, and so many people do.
So many people do.
Yeah.
I got to sacrifice. And sacrifice what?
Yeah.
What are you sacrificing? Your happiness? The rest of your life? Your relationships, which are now suck? Yeah. I have so many good relationships, including with my wife, because I encourage everybody, including her, to live the same way. Fill yourself up first.
Yeah.
Soon as that's good to go, let's go.
Well, we talk about that in recovery.
Yeah.
Because so many people get in recovery and early in recovery, we're like, it's time to be really selfish.
Absolutely.
It's time to really just think about you right now, because anything else you're trying to do outside of you, then you're going to fail at it. You're going to hurt other people. You're going to hinder other people. And, we get into recovery, like, I got to get my kids back. No, you don't, because you ain't shit yet. I'm sorry. That's the way it is. Like, when you've just did 10 years, 5 years, 20 years of active addiction and on whatever drug it may be, alcohol, whatever, I don't care. You just did all that. You have all this wreckage in your rear view. You have all these people that you've hurt, and you hurt yourself above them all, right? You got nothing to show for it. You lost your job, you lost your home, you lost your family, you lost this, you lost that. You got court cases, you got DCS in your life, and it's time to really just shut all that shit off and focus on you and be incredibly selfish about how you do that. Now, I also come back and I explain that being selfish does not mean you're going to be an asshole to everybody else.
No,
and you're going to cut people off. No, you're going to be selfish in the way that you are going to be selfless at the same time.
When you read the definition, it sounds very negative. You have lack of consideration for others. You're only doing it for your own pleasure and profit.
Well, that's not how it is.
Sure.
Right.
I mean, that is how it is.
Yeah.
But when you are at a max level of that, then what? You just give it away for free. Well, that's the best part.
That's the thing. You cannot fill from an empty cup, right? And you can't. And this is why they say when you're in an airplane and you're about to go down, you put your oxygen mask on first, because you cannot help anybody if you cannot breathe.
Right.
And that's the metaphor for it is like we're out here trying to help and fix, and fix is a big part, right? Yeah. We're trying to fix things and we can't even breathe.
Right.
So, I think it's important to really, and we say this, and this is another thing in recovery, like you cannot love other people until you learn to love yourself, which is a form of selfish. You can't learn to love yourself until you're alone with yourself.
So what I've learned,
you can't fix the internal stuff until you realize you're worth fixing it.
That's the whole point. Like what I learned through this when I got selfish and I started to realize that when I was selfish and when I was taking care of me first, I got way more comfortable saying no.
Oh, that's important, right?
Boundaries.
That's important, right?
Ground rules.
Yeah.
I mean, it has changed my marriage. It has changed my career goals. It has changed my life. Sure. And yet, if you ask anybody that I know, when I can, I am the first one to show up.
Guarantee it.
And I will be the last one to leave.
Guarantee it.
Because I've got the most energy inside of me. I have got the most to give out of anybody there. And I have got the most knowledge because I'm constantly feeding and feeding and feeding. And I'm trying to be the smartest person in the room and find a smarter person at the same time to fill me up.
Gotcha.
I'm always on this psycho-cybernetic loop of a chase. Like, I will die trying to still be a better version of myself no matter what. There's no retirement. There's no settling down. Now, I have balance, and I believe life is all about balance, and that's the whole point. Most people will fill themselves up, and they're so afraid of losing it. that's when selfish becomes a negative. Because now I got to keep it all for me because I can't let any of you have it. Right. No. If you're truly selfish, you can only take so much. If you talk to somebody that's got $100 million and somebody's got $200 million, it's the same. There's just too much to spend at that point, right?
Well, you got to give away. You got to give it away before to keep it,
right?
And that's the spiritual side of things.
Why are you doing it if you're not giving it away? That's the whole point.
It's not necessary. When we say you got to give it away to keep it, it's not like you got to give away your possessions, your gains that you made. You got to give away what you have, and what you have is either it's an abundance of different things. But what you have is knowledge. What you have is joy and happiness and contentness in your life. And if you want to keep those things, you have to give it away.
Selfish turns to greed, and that's where people make the misconception about it, right?
Oh, we're talking about two different.
And greed comes from fear,
right?
Right. I'm so afraid of losing what I worked so hard to get that. Well, then you're doing it incorrectly, in my opinion. If you know that you are always going to be. Then you just keep going.
Yeah, you're always going to be okay.
No matter what, I'm just going to keep going and keep going and keep going. But if I've got nothing to give you, then why do you want me to say yes if there's nothing there? Now who's being selfish? So I argued that point. Now who's being selfish?
And really, the majority of the time, people that don't know any boundaries are saying yes for selfish reasons.
Yeah,
they're saying yes to make themselves feel better about something, even though they've history has taught them that when they say yes, they don't come through.
Right.
History has taught them that they do not fulfill their yes when they do it. And then they become that friend who always says he's going to be there. And he's either
super late
or he's super fucking late. He's super late. He doesn't show up, or he's never there when you need him, and he's always got something else to do, and he's always got excuses. He becomes that person. And that's because you don't know boundaries. Like, I have no problem. I say yes to I got this motto now. If I haven't seen it, tasted it, or touched it, or tasted it, right? If I haven't done it, seen it, or tasted it, I'm going to say yes to it, right? That's my motto. But I have a strong no. Like, no, I can't do that. No, I don't want to do that.
Right.
No, I won't help you move. I've helped 150,000 people move in my life, and I think I've filled my quota.
Yes.
I'm not going to help you move. I'll let you borrow my truck, though.
Because that's what happens, right? When you are full, then it doesn't matter what they have.
Yeah.
Then you're not keeping score. You're not building these weird
you don't need nothing.
Dynamics. You're like, no, man, I'm good. Yeah, sure. I'm there because my day's good. Like,
I'm not needy.
I'm full by 10 a.m.
All right.
So the rest of my day is just giving stuff away every day. But I get up at 4, selfishly. It's all about me. And I know that it's all about me. So I get up way before my wife does so that it doesn't create an awkward space for people. You got to find the right way to be selfish constructively so that the other people that don't quite understand it yet. Now, my wife could care less now. She knows exactly what I'm doing from 4 to 6:30. But I'm so full by 6 that I'm like, here, I'll make your coffee. I'll do this. I'll make the bed. You know what I mean? It's like...
That's an analogy right there. Like, at 6 o'clock, I can make your coffee.
Yeah.
When I get up, if she asks me to make coffee when I get up, I am all about me getting coffee right now.
Right.
And I hate that you asked me that, and now I have a resentment.
She asked me
an hour and a half later. I have no problem.
I've already manifested. I've already journaled. I've already done some research. I've already read some books, and I'm like, good to go. It's 6 a.m. when most people are trying to crawl into bed, and I am ready to give it away. By 10 a.m., I am beyond full because as soon as I get to work, it's boom, 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 me. I'm going to make sure I'm in the right place, and then everybody around me wins.
Yeah. So I love it.
So many people look at me just like this, what?
Oh, man.
It's got a negative connotation, and it's not one.
People need to get over that, too, because there is selfishness that is negative, right? And like you said, it's greed.
Selfish turns to greed. It's because
greed,
those people have fear in their selfishness.
But slowly, those people weed themselves out of your life because you realize that, those people don't show up for you.
Well, the thing is, what they have, they don't deserve, and they know it.
Yeah.
So they're afraid of losing it.
Yeah.
That is typically when selfish turns to greed. I know that I deserve everything that I have.
Yeah.
I'm very aware of it. So I want it. I'm going to make sure I have it. And then I want to give it away.
Yeah.
Because there's just too much of it. You can only do too much. You can only do so much for yourself in reality. And that's why I'm saying, like, by 6 a.m., I'm like, make your coffee. I'll help make the bed. I'll do whatever. I'll take out the trash. Like, I'm good to go. And then I've given some stuff away, and now it's time to fill back up. So I know I'm headed to work. I'm going to fill back up.
But at 5 a.m., she asks you to do those things.
5 a.m., I'm not done yet. If you want coffee, I'm sorry. We do this at 6.
I get that.
It's not a bad, and she knows that it's not coming from a place where screw you. She knows that I'm just not ready yet. And if she woke up at 5, something's wrong. Because she doesn't want to do that. So if she wakes up at 5 and the only thing she wants is coffee and not like an ambulance, then that's a different scenario.
I might get the coffee.
There comes a time when you know you have to sacrifice, and that's okay. I'm not saying it's like if somebody's in an emergency and there's something that's totally different.
Yeah.
But in a general space in life, I care about me. I care about in reality. If it were me or you, I am the one that has to be this person when I die. So I'm going to be okay first.
Yeah.
I do not owe you anything. You don't owe me anything. I expect the same thing out of the people that are around me. Take care of yourself first. I don't want you around me until you're full.
Well, and that comes like really because if you got, there's a the saying you got to get your shit together.
Yep.
Right. That's a very broad spectrum on what that actually means, and I think when you're around somebody that doesn't have their shit together, it's that. It's not like they don't have a good job and they don't have a good truck and they're not driving and they don't have they're worried about their phone. That's a byproduct of it. When somebody don't have their shit together, it really kind of it's kind of a toxic environment to be around. Because they're always the people that don't have their shit together. Most likely they're going to be playing a victim role. Mm-hmm. Most likely they're going to have excuses for things. You say something to them, they're going to be on defense because they don't have their shit together.
Most people that don't have their stuff together are people that, when I'm having conversation with clients and they feel like they don't have it together, what I find most often is they're so concerned that they know what's best for someone else. They're so concerned with knowing what's best for someone else that they've completely lost sight of themselves, and they don't understand why everything's falling apart. Mm-hmm. And so I'm always like, why aren't you selfish enough? And they go to this negative space, and it's in everything in our life, every language, which is why I don't have a problem with cursing personally, because I'm not saying it to tear someone down. It's just what I call passionate. That's what I do. That's what it is. It's not, I believe in God, and that's a conversation I'm willing to have with him because he knows my heart. Yeah. So I'm not worried about that conversation. I don't even think that's going to come up because it's just words.
Of all the things in the world.
Right. We got plenty of other stuff to talk about.
Do you remember in 2016 when you said
the F word to your ninth grade teacher? Nope. You know what I mean? Like, I don't worry about the little things. The Bible tells me not to worry about those things or really anything, right? Put your trust in me. Take away all your anxious fears. These were all the things that, like, if you read the Bible and pay attention to the Bible, there's a lot of knowledge in the Bible. And I'm not trying to Bible thump. I'm just saying there's a lot of core beliefs in it that make a lot of sense to me. And it makes sense to me. And this is how I live my life. And I happen to be winning very well.
Any ancient proverbs, which is a lot of, not even the book of Proverbs, but a lot of the ancient proverbs. You can take it back to the Indian proverbs. You can take it back to the ancient. There's so many different types of proverbs, and you look at those, and those are all formulas. They're all ingredients for how to live and how to have expectations and not have expectations in your life. Mm-hmm. So I think the book of Proverbs in the Bible is like it's amazing. I haven't read it in some years now, and now I'm thinking about going back to reading it. But there's all kinds of other proverbs.
A Bible
too.
That we bought 2 Bibles, me and my wife, that we're going through again to just read it again, go from front to back the way it's supposed to be read, whatever you say that, and make notes and study it and ask questions and dig into it and just have a conversation about what it looks like for her and for me, because we haven't done that yet. Like, we both know our belief system, but we haven't taken the time together to like have conversations about it.
Can we talk about aliens? Can I come over and talk about aliens?
Yes, we can definitely talk about aliens some night. But
extraterrestrials, not people from other countries.
You go all the way back to the golden rule, which they used to teach in like kindergarten. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
That's an ancient proverb.
I want the best person in the room to show up for me.
Yeah.
What that means is I need the most selfish individual, the guy that went to the gym every day, the guy that trained every day, the guy that fed his brain as much knowledge as possible to show up for me. But I'm not going to get that if that person's not selfish. I need that person all about them so that when they show up for me, I get all of them.
Yeah.
You got to be all about you before you can give all of you. Mm-hmm. And people don't understand that. And it just shocks people in such a way. And I just want people to open their mind just a little bit and stop believing in all these negative things that come from all the people that don't have. The only people that hate the word selfish are the people that don't have anything. Right?
The ones that want something from you.
Because I've said that to somebody and they've gotten selfish, and in a week I've seen people transform and they're like, I get it. Now I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's time
You're
to start.
welcome.
It's time to start saying no to things you don't want to do that don't benefit you or the people around you, and you're just saying yes because you're a yes man and you don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. It's time to start looking at yourself and saying, what can I do? Discipline is everything. Talent is nothing. Talent is nothing. Discipline and consistency is everything in every aspect of your life. If you stay disciplined to an idea or a change that you want to make in your life and you stay consistent on it, those changes will come. And the byproduct of being disciplined and consistent is without measure. I don't care if we're talking about the gym. I don't care if we're talking about learning something. I don't care if we're talking about spiritual growth and in any aspect of your life. If you can write down what it is you want and then write down the disciplines necessary to acquire that and stay consistent on it no matter what, I think consistency, you have to have a consistency to be in the frame of no matter what.
Right.
No matter what comes up, no matter what changes, there's little things, variances in my day that happens. And if I make an excuse for myself and say, well, this happened, it's okay to fail today, then you're going to start doing that. Then it's just going to compound. Tomorrow it's going to be another one. It's going to be another one. So consistency in anything is where you're going to see the actual change in your life. And when you do that to yourself, you're selfish for yourself enough to apply that discipline and consistency, you will start seeing the changes in the people around you.
Here's another mind-boggling thing that's fun, but before I get to that, let's just go mathematical for people, okay?
Oh, God.
If you came to me and said, I need $100 and I handed you $60,
I'll be like, what?
Right?
You don't know how to count?
So don't give me 60% of you, but if that's all you have, I don't want it, right? I either want what I'm asking for or I don't want anything at all because I don't need half of it. I need what I asked for.
Right.
Now, on the other side of things, I journal my day, I write out a list of things that I want to do. And if I didn't fail that day and I got 100%, you know what I write on the bottom of it?
What?
Try harder.
Put more things on the list.
Right.
Yeah.
If I'm not failing every day, I'm doing something incorrect. Means I didn't challenge myself enough. Means I didn't push hard enough. Means I didn't learn that day.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, I need a perfect day. Why? So you can live a mediocre, crappy life. If your perfect day means you went to work, you didn't get fired, you showed up, and there was some food in your fridge, awesome, dude. You do you. My day consists of different things because if you want to impact the world, which I believe all of us have a drive inside of us somewhere that wants to impact the world, we just don't believe that we can. Well, I know that I can. I'm doing it on a daily basis. Me and my wife just spoke about this recently because I was struggling with it not being enough of an impact. And she's like, I'm willing to bet a lot of money that you have impacted way more people than you know.
Guarantee it.
And that you're not giving yourself enough credit for it. And I said, yeah. I don't want to give myself enough credit for it. I don't want to know about those people because if I know about those people, that means that my score is higher and I need it to be lower so I can keep trying. So I want to impact so many people that I don't know about that I keep trying to find the people that aren't there yet. And that is my driving force for waking up every day. So what is your driving force for every day? Why aren't you selfish enough? And I mean that from a genuine place of wake up. Do what you want. Take care of what you want. Set your intentions for the day, not your intentions for someone else. That does no good because you don't know what that person needs, wants, or otherwise. Take care of yourself.
I like to call that waking up on purpose. Waking up on purpose.
I sure don't wake up on it. I'm so militant at this point that on Sunday morning,
so many people,
4:00 in the morning,
so many people wake up on accident. So many people with no purpose.
They're just going through the motions. They're just trying to survive. That's survival mode. And I don't understand that because if you live in survival mode long enough, you're going to die.
Although I did it for 25 years.
Right. And what were those 25 years like?
Oh,
right?
misery and chaos.
But
yes.
You reached a moment in time where you realized that wasn't working. Or where would you be right now? Dead. I'm willing to bet, based on what we know about each other, dead. Which is the same. People are always like, don't you wish you could go back and change your addiction? Nope.
Not a day of it.
Not at all.
Yeah.
God allowed me to survive a drug and an addiction that most people die from. If you talk about heroin itself,
Yeah.
The majority of heroin addicts die. They make a mistake, they overdose, they do something incorrectly, or they can't find their way out and they die. It is an evil drug. Alcohol is a lot more dangerous because of the psychological side effects, and it's a lot harder to get off of, and there's a lot of other things, and it's way easier to access, and alcohol is definitely dangerous. Most heroin addicts die.
Yeah.
I was doing grams of heroin regularly, and that was when I felt normal. I didn't even feel high. That was just to get through the day.
That was just to wake up.
Hundreds of dollars. Yeah. Not even understanding it. God allowed that for me so I could, again, be selfish and go give it away. Yeah. You need to understand what you did, pat yourself on the back for it. I give myself high fives. I celebrate myself, because if I'm not celebrating me, I can't celebrate you. Like, it makes sense, but so many people push back on it, and I love it because it just drives me further to be like, just listen for a minute. Let's just have an adult conversation about it. What does selfish mean to you? And it's always negative.
Yeah.
And I say, why does it have to be so negative? So I explain my positive, and they're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Because the people that know me go, you're not selfish, dude. You help me all the time. I'm like, yeah, because I was helping myself at 4 a.m. So when I showed up, I was ready to help you. That's what you need to do. You need to take care of yourself first. I want people to take care of themselves first.
And listen,
period.
Listen, what I said about earlier about, getting your stuff together, like that's what it inquires. Like, you got to take care of yourself. You're not going to be anything to anybody if you can't figure out how to, like, you're not going to, if you can't manage your own day, how are you going to manage anybody else or advise anybody else on their management skills and their time skills, any of that stuff? If you the best way to help a lot of people is lead by example. And if you're not somebody that they look up to in some way, and I'm not saying look up to like you're doing so great things, it's like, okay, that dude has his shit together. He's up every morning, he's doing this, he does that, he does this, he's helping people, he's always there, he shows up on time, he stays late, he's consistently does what he says he's going to do. And that's powerful, and that's inspiring me, and you inspire me a lot. So
I appreciate that.
Yes.
It's just one of those things where you have to do this. You have to take care of yourself first. If you're not the first thing on your mind, then what do you have to give? I need everything from you. And when they say leaders don't create followers, they create better leaders. Well, if you are full, and I am full, and I am giving away to you, what is that going to create? A better individual, right? So I need you to be full when you show up. So when we join together, it's an unstoppable force. Bam. That's when the people around you become an army. And that's what I'm trying to encourage people that watch this channel to become. We need an army right now because the world is struggling very bad. Mental health is on such a peak right now, and it is not going to get any better based on the leadership of this world right now as a whole. Our mental health, we haven't even scratched the surface of how bad it's about to get.
And if you want to know why we have mental health problems, go to our last episode about fluoride in the water systems. We thank you guys, seriously.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching us. Send us out to a friend, subscribe, like, tell us what you think in the comments.
Yes,
we want to hear, if you want to tell us to F off, we want to hear that too.
Yep.
We love you guys. Thank you for joining our army.
You're welcome.